It is no secret that both consumers and investors are not really happy with what's going on right now in the country. We've seen rising gas prices and grocery prices, market volatility, and a war in Europe. So who can blame them, right? But should they really be that discouraged? Is the economy really that bad? For some perspective, we are joined by our investment advisor, Bruce Allen. Bruce, good morning.
Good morning, Gary.
So is there a way to measure how negative people are feeling about all this?
Yes, there is, and people are feeling very negative right now. There's a survey that's been done for many years by the University of Michigan, and their consumer survey in February before COVID hit was running around 1.1, and that means that Americans at that point were very positive about the economy right before we went into a very severe recession. Today, in March, and the number's about to come out tomorrow, Gary, that number will be below 60. And that's a level of pessimism we've only seen 5 times since 1962. And that's typically accompanied by disastrous economic activity, not what we're facing today. But people are extremely pessimistic right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is politics plays into it and all kinds of different things.
Gas prices.
Gas prices.
Gas prices and grocery prices. People they feel very poor when they go to the pump and get that kind of sticker shock right away.
So that's the consumers. What about the investors?
Investors are also extremely pessimistic. There's an association called the American Association of Individual Investors, and they survey their members. And the members who are pessimistic or bearish, that number is almost up to 60. So nearly 6 out of 10 investors are very concerned or pessimistic about the stock market. That's only happened 3 times since 1987. So the level of consumer pessimism and investor pessimism is at very rare and very high levels.
Yeah. So that begs the question: is it warranted? What's going on out there? Should they feel this bad about it?
Well, certainly I would not tell somebody to not feel great about the economy. I mean, I get a little sticker shock too when I fill my car up. In fact, I put my wife behind me, so if I pass out, she'll catch me. But I think that the real reality is that these are reactive, not predictive. So if we're talking about, are we going to have a recession, which is what is on everyone's mind, there is one really good predictor about that.
And that is?
Well, when you were in school, was there ever a smart girl at the front of the room with glasses who knew all the answers? I know, it's annoying. Right. So the bond market is really the answer to where should we be looking for signs of a recession. The bond market's this smart girl in the front of the classroom. Specifically, the relationship between short-term treasury bonds and long-term treasury bonds. Long treasury bonds typically pay a higher interest rate because investors are taking market risk and locking those yields up. In August of 2019, 6 months before the recession that hit, when COVID hit, the 3-month Treasury bills were paying almost 2%, and the 10-year Treasury bonds were paying below 1.5%. That's very odd, and that phenomenon today is not happening. Today, as of yesterday, the 3-month Treasury bills are paying 1%, and 10-year Treasury bonds are paying 2.75%. So the bond market, which is the most accurate predictor of recessions and has predicted every recession, Gary, since 1952, right now is not saying that. Now, nobody can predict the stock market or the economy, but the bond market's done a great job, and that's not agreeing with how people feel. And anybody who's raised a teenager knows how you feel is not the reality.
Right, exactly. So you're telling us we got a chance to get beyond this.
Well, right now, right now I think that the people have become overly pessimistic. The second thing is when people get this pessimistic, that's oftentimes an interesting time to start looking for opportunities.
All right. As always, it's good to hear your take on things because then I don't feel so bad. All right, let's send it over to Ed.